naked shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Welcome everybody to With Insights Radio. This is Iggy Garcia live, episode 51. My guest today is Jayla Imani. And today we're going to be talking with her, sharing her insights. I'm here with Jan Keevan, my partner in crime. So, good crime. Like Robin Hood.
Hope it's good crime.
But yeah, we're doing a live stream today, and we're actually doing a radio show at the same time. For those of you who are watching on the live stream, we do have a call-in number, and that call number is 646-595-3440. Again, that's 646-595-3440. I'll type it in here in a second. But today is just a great day to have iced tea.
Yes.
Sweet tea.
Delicious
So
sweet
cheers.
tea.
Cheers.
Oh.
Some,
Okay. Yep.
There
That's
you go.
some togetherness.
so,
That's great.
if you hear a train in the background, it's beautiful. That's the way we look at
Embrace
it.
it. Yep.
But today we're going to talk, we're going to hang out, we're kind of at the round table of sorts so we can hear each other. So those of you who are also listening on the radio, if you have questions, I see the phone numbers pop in, and we'll bring on the air here in a little bit. But yeah, so like we do every Iggy Garcia show, we kind of just say, hi, how are you, how you doing, so what's new with you? So I'm going to start with Jan here, see how her day was going. So how are you?
Hi. I'm just groovy. It's been a rough day. A lot of shifting going on, lots of crazy things going on, but a beautiful day all the same. I had couple of epiphanies going on today and helped somebody transition overnight, which was always beautiful and difficult at the same time. Really glad to be here. Really glad to hear what we have to say tonight, and hopefully have a lot of callers and a lot of shares so that we can just help more people and see what's going on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome. Very good.
Good to be here.
It's good to be here.
Good to be here.
Good to be here. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Like, my day has been great. I spent a good amount of time outside soaking up the sun.
Mhm.
So that's always a good day for me. I played with the worm. That was fun.
The worm?
Yeah, a worm. He came when I was doing my my live on Instagram telling him about this.
Okay.
And I was just playing with him in my hand. And it was great. Like, he came to me during my live and we had a good time.
Nice.
So it's been a good day. Yeah.
Those earthworms. It's funny you bring that up. In my shamanic practice, we actually eat a worm.
Oh, wow.
To take in the flora for the spring. That way we don't get sick during the rest of the year.
I'll
So.
leave that for you.
Yeah.
I'll leave that one to you. I think I'm gonna pass on that one.
But it's good. It happens really quick, really fast.
Yeah.
But it's a blast. We have a secret contract together, the worm and I. Yeah, my day has been pretty good. I kind of went out and hanged out in the sun and just taking in the rays, just kind of hanging out by the water there, and just need a little break, a little me time, and just had to get out and get away, and I really enjoyed that. So it was a good time for me. But we're here tonight, because we're going to talk about you a little bit, and Jan and I are going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Put you on the hot seat. No, I'm just joking.
I'm excited. Ask away. I am going to be vulnerable. Ask me whatever, because vulnerability is strength. People think vulnerability is not strength, but you know how hard it is to be vulnerable and not know what is going to happen after? That's harder than keeping anything in my opinion. So ask away. I am an open book.
Okay.
You might hear little pitter patters. We got little babies here, little pet babies.
So
We do that.
I wanted to ask you, when you sent me your bio, you said you were intuitive empath.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, take me on the journey a little bit, how you discovered or how you think you are discovering that as you're moving through your bed road walk here.
Well, The empath part I've always known about, but I didn't know it had a name. Like, I've always been sensitive. Like, everybody's calling me sensitive, right?
Okay.
So as I got older and started going on my own journey, that's when I figured out, oh, it's a good thing. You know, it's not a bad thing. I was always thinking it was a bad thing, but it's actually a really good thing. So I figured that out. I was really excited. Like, yay, I'm not crazy. So that was fun. Intuitive, I found out, I don't know, I've been intuitive for a while, but I didn't know what it was. Like, I was always like, maybe I knew somebody was going to call me, or maybe, you know, I knew something was going to happen, or now I have like somebody that I'm really close to, and we like communicate telepathically and like stuff like that. Like, every day is something new. Honestly, it's every day I learn something new, and it's exciting.
So, I mean, how'd you get here?
How did I get here?
Yeah, I mean, how'd you get on this path? What was that moment? What was that thing that just says, boom?
It's always a thing, huh?
Well, you know, I don't know if it's a thing, but I'm just
I think
curious.
it is.
You know?
It usually is a thing. I feel like the universe was trying to get me on the right path for a while, but I wasn't listening.
Mm-hmm.
So the bam moment was my last relationship. It was very, very, very toxic. And getting out of it, I kind of, at first I had reserves. I'm like, I want to go back, no. And then I just started getting really spiritual, like just spiritual in general. You know, one of my pastimes was going to choir, so they didn't know where I was because we were living together. So it's like I wanted to be away from home, and choir was my away from home. Spirituality was my way from home because I'm up here by myself, essentially, because I'm from Cincinnati.
Okay.
So I don't have like family here to like lean on, like somebody I can just go move with. So that's where I was forced to be. So being forced to be in that space and not go crazy, I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that escape, and I eventually went from being very spiritual within like Christianity to questioning Christianity to where I am now.
People have been there, done that.
Yes.
Well, I think we're still
Doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm trying to, right now, I know I'm spiritual. I know this higher being, but I don't want to, I don't feel the need to ascribe to any religion. I believe all religions have some aspects of them that are correct, per se.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't ascribe to religion. So that's kind of how I got here. A really toxic relationship, needs to get out of it, needed an escape, and going to be Christianity to going out of Christianity and to being here.
Very good.
Interesting. I love it.
Yeah. That's usually how it happens. You know?
It's pretty close.
There's always something. So there's always a defining moment in someone's life that just kind of says, "Hey, you know what?
Something's got to change."
You know, and even in that moment, you're kind of going, "I should change. I should leave," and you're still hesitant sometimes. I've been there. I still go through those things sometimes.
Yeah.
So I hate to tell you, it's always something new. You know, something else is coming up.
I think as long as we're human, we're going to have those times. You know, whether it's a relationship change or if it's a move, or no matter what it is, we're all going to have those kinds of changes, and they're going to be challenges. We're still steeped in being human. It's not easy to be human. It's just not. But that's our job right now.
They never said it would be easy. No one ever said it would be easy.
No, but it can still be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You want to have fun while you're on this journey. You know, as you're experiencing things, as you're rolling through them.
For sure.
Because what's the point of going through it if you're not going to?
That's exactly right.
You know, enjoy it. And, I mean, even the things that challenge you, you can reflect back and go, "Wow,
I have
what
a
was
saying,
I thinking?"
Yeah, I have a saying that I always say, "Embrace your grace."
Okay.
And to me, that simply means that, you know, I say to you quite often, I had the most remarkable life ever.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people that all the time. That does never mean that it was all rosy, because it wasn't. That it was full of thorns, but my thorns were remarkable thorns. I kid you not. I have embraced my grace my entire life. I don't have any shame anymore. I'm over that word. And by getting rid of that word, it has helped my empath ability, my intuitiveness, you know, my gifts excel. And by just getting rid of the word shame, it has been a blessing to me. So I'm embracing my grace that way. That's one of the ways that I'm embracing it. And having fun, being respectful of my life to the point where let go of that does not serve me. And drama does not serve me. It just does not. Let go of it And have fun. Have
Right.
fun. I mean, that doesn't mean you don't continue to work.
Yeah.
We all have to work,
Right.
but you should have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Be blessed in what you do. Be blessed in everything that you do.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm really grateful for is learning a lot of lessons that I've already learned so early. Like, I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful because I'm able to see life's challenges as lessons, and it's really hard for me in a sense because I see all my people around me not getting that. They don't get it, and I'm just like, something unfortunate. I put air quotes around things because what is unfortunate? What is challenge? What is
We
that?
get it. I understand.
But it's like, it gets, I don't want to say it gets frustrating because it's not that deep, but it's like, it saddens me. Like, people,
I was gonna ask you that.
it saddens me. Like, that people let things get them down, like little things, and it ruins their whole day, their whole week. And I'm just like, just get over it. Life moves on. See the lesson in it. Like, see the lesson in it and you'll be all right.
Do you feel responsible for other people's not seeing what you're seeing?
No.
No. It just saddens you that
Yeah.
they don't see it. Do you try to get them to?
I may explain it. I don't feel obligated. Like, I don't feel like, if I feel like maybe like situational wise, like, this is, see the lesson in this. Like, it may be something small like that, but it's never like, I need you to see the lesson in this, or I do not feel fulfilled. Like,
Well, this is good.
yes, I don't feel that.
So you have empathy for them
Yes.
Yes.
instead of sympathy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us, some people have sympathy for people because they feel bad for them. But when you have empathy for someone, you acknowledge them, but you're like, well, you know what? It's your shit.
Yeah.
Like Jan would say. Then you
It
may
is.
carry that on.
Yeah.
My daughter taught me that.
Yeah, I was about to say the
yeah,
two
I
ladies
was going to
with
say
the
the
buckets.
buckets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to thank my daughter for
And
that one.
this is PG-13 show.
Oh.
It is.
Poop.
Rated R just a minute ago.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. A bodily function that, and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yes.
Yes, that was a good story.
We have
by
fun
the
on
way.
these shows.
We're supposed to.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But and I feel like for me when I'm empathetic, and this is just me and my personal way I think of it, because I had to learn to differentiate between empathy and compassion.
Yeah.
So empathy for me personally is being able to step inside somebody's shoes and truly feel their anguish or their grief or their pain or what it is they're going through. But being able to set it aside, it's over here. I felt it, it washed through me. I know what that's like.
Not letting it carry on.
But here, let me help you, or whatever it is I'm supposed to do in over here. I cannot allow that to define me at that moment.
Yeah.
But I still have to feel it so that I know what to do for them to move forward.
Sure.
And then compassion is just, I really feel for them because they don't have that joy that I
Yeah.
have.
Mhm.
But then again, sometimes I think, do they know it?
Yeah.
They don't know they don't have that joy. Not yet.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to let go of that as well and just look at everybody. It's individual for everybody.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. And
Go ahead.
it's interesting that you mentioned compassion because before, like a year ago, I would never consider myself a compassionate person. Like, that wouldn't be the first thing that popped in my head, like, for me.
Really?
But, like, now it's definite. Like, I definitely have compassion for people. And it's like, when I say sadness, I feel like that's more of the compassion kind of, because it's like, don't you know, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, yeah. Compassion is definitely something I would consider myself to be. And somebody actually called me compassionate today on my live. And I was like, oh yeah, that was the affirmation right there. Like, I know what it is. Like,
You
I
are.
talk to worms
Yeah, you're a
and
compassionate
flies.
person,
Like,
sure.
yeah. So,
And I eat them.
yes. Let's not go into that.
So, reading your bio, it was talking about you when you're spreading love and positivity throughout the world. I mean, in what way do you do that? What way do you share that? I mean, I know I hear some of the things you said, but take us on a journey. Take us on what your day's like when you're doing your work. Because Jen and I do our work. I want to know what that's like.
So one way that I spread love and positivity and light is by Instagram. I think that me being younger, it's that's a good platform for me to reach the people of my age. Whether or not they understand it, they're gonna have to scroll past it, and one day they're gonna stop like, oh, let me read that, you know.
Good idea.
So I post inspirational picture, like they'll have like a quote, and then underneath I'll put like how I feel about it, and like it's a lot receptive than I thought. Like there's a lot of people who I would never think would like those type of things are liking it. So it's like I'm getting like 50, likes or whatever on these posts, and I'm like, okay, people are receptive to this, people are hearing it, people like it. So I try to post that like every day, if not like often, very, very often. So that's one way that I like kind of brighten people's day a little bit. I brighten people's day like just with walking in my light every day, like being just so happy and just so, I'm just like, when I was younger, I didn't really have, I don't want to say didn't have manners per se, but like now I'm just like, I'm happy all the time. I'm like, how are you doing today? Well, that's great. How are you feeling today? Well, that's amazing. Like, I'm just like extra. I don't want to say extra because it's me now, but it's like, I'm just so happy. And it's like, it rubs off on everybody that I am around. And that in itself makes me very happy. And I can see it, And I have a lot of conversations I probably wouldn't have had if I wasn't as nice. I've gotten connections that I probably wouldn't have if I wasn't as, genuine. And people feel it's genuine. It's like you can't be mad at me. Because, like, if we're having a conversation and you don't agree, or we're having, like, a disagreement, I'm so nice about it, you can't be mad. And it's just so funny.
Wow.
It's literally so
You're
funny.
standing in it.
Yes,
Girl. Yeah.
literally. So, for example, I had a phone call. Okay. So I'm having kind of issues with my job kind of right now, and the management is pushing me, right? So
Before you continue that, I'm going to interrupt you just for a second.
Okay.
Would you please share with us the type of people that you work with?
Yes.
Not the management people, but
yes.
Yes, please.
I work with people with disabilities, developmental disabilities, and it's really my passion. I went back and forth between elderly and then this, but it's like, this is where I'm drawn to, this is where I'm gravitating towards, and they are special people, and it's like, it's so sad that people can't see it, but I can, and that's all I can really control. So
thank you for that. So now knowing that, share with us the part about
the management.
You're having difficulty with your management.
Yeah. So basically, I do good work. Nobody can tell me I'm not doing good work. All my clients always love me. Period. Like they never complain about me. So management is like kind of pushing me, like communicating with me via email. Like for example, they said, "Well, we need to meet up. I see you get off at such and such Friday. See you then." So it's like at that point, past Jayla would have been like, what do you mean see you, da-da-da? You don't know what I'm doing, da-da-da-da, because that's very inconsiderate. It's very inconsiderate. But kind of Jayla, hello, hi, I am not available this Friday, but I would love to meet with you guys some other day, So then, they're telling me, oh, you can't work again until we meet. So I called them. I'm like, hi, how are you doing today? I'm doing great. They didn't ask me how I was doing. I was like, well, I'm doing amazing as well. So let's go ahead and talk about this, right? So we didn't really see eye to eye, but the way I was delivering everything I was saying, I know I have the words that I want to use to communicate, and that sometimes throws people off because I believe a lot of people get in arguments because they don't have the words to communicate how they feel. And so since I'm capable to do that now, it's like it's like you can feel them being angry, but it's like they can't
That's
be.
exactly right.
And it's just like,
that's right.
It's amazing. It feels great. And like, that's what I had today. And I'm saying I'm having an amazing day. And it's like, I had those problems with them, but it didn't affect me. And it feels great. It's great.
Kill them with kindness.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We do have a question online.
Okay.
It's asked, as an empath, how do you protect yourself from absorbing other pains when you are working with other people's pains?
So I think that something that came really naturally lead to me is deep breaths, like pushing it away. I don't know what it does, but it just came really naturally to me just to breathe and just kind of push it away, like when they're talking. And I realized it because one time my friend was calling me contemplating, like, not suicide, like they were about to off themselves, but like talking about it and stuff. So it was like, I felt it kind of trying to enter me, and I was just like, I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, okay, that's something. So that's one thing I do. And another thing I do is listen. So one way that you can get dragged into somebody's stuff is if they're talking to you like, oh yeah, why would they do that? And that's how you get emotionally invested in something. That's how it pulls you in. Right. So you literally have to just listen, right? And I might have like little things to say at the end, but I'm not about to get emotionally invested in your poop. So
very good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's
mm-hmm. Hey, you know, they say we're real.
And if that works, you do it, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing about doing the work that you do, and that the three of us do. We have our own ways, our own practice, you know, our own techniques. We share with other people. Sometimes they just evolve right in front of us. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not sure if that's ever happened to any of you, where just you're in a situation and all of a sudden you just get this knowing.
Right.
You know, all of a sudden you're just like, wow, where the heck did that come from?
Exactly.
And then everybody asks you, where did you get that from? Just now. You know, because I think there's a misconception that people who do this, the metaphysical or the spiritual or any kind of work, mm-hmm. that they have practiced this over and over. They have a routine, or there are some things that you do, but there's a lot of things that just, you know, when you're connected to source, when you're connected to right. spirit, when you're connected to, you know, higher self, the higher version of yourself, you know, the Christ consciousness, whatever you resonate with, it knows what to deliver. You know when you're connected to it.
Yeah, it's already there.
Yeah, you know,
just pulling it.
You know when you're connected to it because it tells you things in an amazing way, because it doesn't go, well, I don't like your shirt. Okay, so that's how you know you're not in higher consciousness. Yeah. You know, or you don't go to higher consciousness. So how do you like my shirt? It will never answer you, because it's not like that.
Right.
It gives you multiple decisions, multiple choices to decide from. So you think you're hearing one, but it's actually giving you all of these little fragments that you have to put together in your brain, because we have to process through the ego mind, because the ego mind's going, I'm not going to tell them that. Why am I going to tell them that? If I tell them that, they might think I'm crazy. Yeah, it's okay to be crazy, because, you know, especially in the shamanic practice, you're supposed to go insane. You're supposed to go crazy a little bit. That's how you know, and that's how you know how to connect with people. That's why it's naked shaman. Sometimes you have to be naked. And, you know, that was part of my journey. That's why I got that tag, because I'm not a drinking problem, but I would drink tequila, and I'd take my clothes off. So that's why I don't drink tequila too much. But that's important. That's part of my journey. Yeah. That's part of learning. That's part of the story. So now I have a story to share with somebody about that.
Yeah. Right.
You know, we all have these little stories that happen to us. And that's how we teach other people, by the things that happen to us.
Yeah.
And then they're going, wow, that's pretty powerful. Yeah. Well, I'll never do that. You never say never do that. Never. Because you know what? When Spirit puts something in front of you,
that's right.
It's a task for you to learn.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, the cool thing is you're pretty connected to nature.
Yeah.
So, so what's nature do for you? You like that talk. You like that.
Yes, I love nature. It allows me to, it's meditative in a way, because it allows me to not think about stuff. I just love it so much. It's just like, I see the beauty, and it's like, I feel like, since there's a lot of people in this world who don't see the beauty and stuff, I feel like I gotta take it in for them too. Like, I just feel like I'm in awe. Like, when I see nature, I'm in literal awe. Sure. And it's like, when you think of certain things, like we have veins in our body and there's veins in leaves, it's like, people, like, how do you not see the magic in every single day? Like, so I'm outside, I'm looking at, okay, somebody sees a tree, right? They see a tree, they see the leaves, they just see green, right? I don't just see green. I see this color green, this color green, this color green, the greens that happen when it's flowing in the wind. Like if you ask anybody who has been with me recently, like, when I'm outside, I'm just looking like, look at that bird. Yeah. Hi, Mr. Squirrel. Like, talking to animals, talking to, like I said, like I was actually
Jayla Doolittle.
I was actually talking to a gnat the other day, and I was actually with somebody that was really close to me. And they're like, then they know I talk to animals. Like, don't talk to it, don't talk to it. I'm like, I don't want to talk to it. So like, I just talk to any animal and every animal, and just nature just makes me. It's like a recharge. It's definitely a recharge. Especially the sun. Like, I just love baking in the sun. Like, it's like, yes. And like, when I was younger, I was more insecure. So like, the representation of black, right? So it's like light skin is cute, right? So it's like, yeah, this is like, yeah, in the black community, it's fetishized to be lighter skinned. So when I was younger, I would be insecure about being darker because I was on swim team, in the pool, ring, in and out. But it's like now I see so much beauty in my skin in the different shades and the different tones, and it's like I just love myself so much. It's so unconditional. Like it's so unconditional. So it just makes me happy to just be in the sun and gain those few extra shades, and also gain just I get downloads when I'm in the sun too. I get a lot of downloads. So it's beautiful. Like I know stuff about animals that I don't know how I knew, and like stuff like that. Like, oh, is that a armadillo, or is that a robin, or like it's just like, where did they come from? So
nature's funny because my friend told me a story about she went to the beach and she was laying there. There was this really big girl and she had a little skinny friend, and they camped their stuff down, and she had a box of cookies or something, like you know how you get in the store. So she noticed that this bird was flying around, and she didn't give it much thought until the girls went to the water. The inflatable raft thing they were going to do. But all of a sudden, this bird comes down, lands on the blanket over there, and lifts the box lid. And then the other one flies and stands like sentinel, watching when the people are coming by. And all the birds came. Okay, and ate all the cookies. They may have left one, she thinks, but I thought it was so funny and so amazing that we don't give our brethren, you know, the animal
the credit,
that, you know, that they're smart, that they have a consciousness, that they know what they're doing,
that they have a soul,
that they're even capable of structuring that strategy. Yeah, you know. And but you know what I thought was really funny, because she said the girl came back and she's like, "Where'd my cookies go?"
That's funny.
But it's the cool story. I thought I would share that because I thought, because when you were sharing, you know,
did you realize how she didn't realize the correlation between the bird?
Yeah,
and where'd my cookies go?
She had. I don't even know if she even knew what happened.
I mean, yeah.
From what I'm gathering, this woman didn't even realize that these birds ate her cookies. The birds were just they were gone just as fast as they got there.
And they were plotting since the beginning. They knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah. But that's the winged ones, you know, and the four-leggeds, and you know the standing, you know, creatures and everything. It's beautiful, you know, with nature. And you can talk to nature, and I'm really big on that too, just because the path that I'm on. I feel like I'm related to everything, to you, this chair, and everything. The creatures out there, they talk to you. My last show was just about that, you know, communicating with those creatures.
I was really excited to learn about the animal medicine. I say that, oh, you know, every animal brings their own medicine.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, maybe taught me that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I had an amazing experience today, that very quickly, but I have a grandson who's 4 years old, and he was over here today with his dad looking at something to help me with. And I walk out back and take a few steps, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh wait, and there is a baby bird, but feathered, but not flying yet, sitting in the grass. And I immediately think dogs, you know, did they hurt it? But no, they didn't. And so we're all looking at it, and Benny, the little boy, he's like, well, pick it up, Graham, you know, pick it up. And I said, nah, let's just wait a little bit, you know. So we waited and walked over to do what we were going to do, and while we're standing there, I see out of the corner of my eye Robin come in, and she has a grub in her mouth.
Oh.
And she lands, and then all of a sudden she sees us, and she goes away. And I said, it's okay, you know, I just talked to her, and I talked to her, and I talked to her, and finally she came over to where the baby was and fed it, and then talked to it, and then it started hopping. And she'd go a little bit more, and she'd talk to it, and it would hop some more. And she hopped that thing out of my fence, out of the chain link fence, threw it into a safe yard, because there were dogs here.
Oh, wow.
And it was amazing to watch. I mean, it was amazing. It was just amazing to watch. And I was just, I had such gratitude for that mother taking care of that baby like that, really protecting. She was trying to teach it to fly. That's what they do. I didn't know this at the time, but I learned it today from my from Benny's dad, and Eric taught me. He said, no, they're on the ground for a couple of days. and they finally learn to fly. And
Sure.
yeah, it
You
was
know,
interesting.
Sometimes as humans we believe that we're helping things, but actually we impede things sometimes. Butterflies, for example, people try to break a cocoon open for a butterfly, help a butterfly out. That's the worst thing you can do.
Right, kill it.
Because you'll kill it or deform it. Because it needs all that liquid, all that DNA, all that juice to help it transform. It's not done until completely
Its
out.
womb.
Yeah.
And then,
It was ready to
then when
go.
its wings spread, the sun dries it off and then fuses it into the body.
Oh wow.
And so when
Right.
that butterfly is ready to fly, look it up because there's pictures of
Oh,
butterflies
yeah.
that are like, I don't know what's up, man, but I can't move. Thanks, Iggy, but no thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that help.
But we do
Not.
that. And something like the bird, for example, you said the bird, you thought it was helpless and it was wounded, but like I told him in the
But I
show,
said just wait. You have to be
the
patient.
animal kingdom has its system.
I know.
Yeah.
A baby giraffe is born ready to run, or it's going to be dinner,
Yeah.
someone's dinner. So we are the most vulnerable of all creatures. Us, we have to actually, carry our babies until they,
Yeah.
for a long time actually. Some till like
Yeah,
25.
humans are the only ones like that. Sometimes till
Some to-
52.
some to 25. Some to
Oh, wait a
25.
minute, 42, sorry. No, that's true. I mean, it's really true. Humans really are the only ones
Mhm.
that aren't born walking or, kind of like ready to.
What's the defense system?
Yeah.
And birds are the next evolution.
Right.
I don't know if you knew that or not. Scientists have said that birds, the next evolution of really thinking brain type creatures are going to be the birds when we're gone, because they're able to construct some very intricate nesting. They have planning.
They do indeed.
The crows are really amazing, powerful because
Yeah.
there's always a matriarch crow. There's always a crow that's the matriarch, and that's the one that always gets all the gifts from all the other crows. And then if it finds something too, so what the crow would do, well, there's other crows that are just kind of just like humans. They want to take things that don't belong to you. They just want the easy road.
I find them outside in my porch all the time because I feed them.
And so what happens
They
is
bring
this
me-
crow
bring me
will
gifts.
bury or pretend to bury something there, and then all the other crows will wait till that crow flies away and then they'll go digging. But there's nothing there. She throws them off. And then she buries her too.
Right? Smart.
They're
Smart
powerful.
cookie. They are indeed.
Well, we're going to take a quick break really fast. We'll be still on the air on live feed, but we'll take a radio break here.
Okay.
So we'll be right back, folks. Those of you listening to the radio.
That person stay on hold that long.
You are listening to InsightsRadio.com, your free online resource for achieving self-discovery and inspiration. With Insights Radio, it's a listener-supported radio station, and your donations are greatly appreciated. We cover a variety of topics, interviews surrounding the metaphysical and holistic and natural medicine, alternative healing modalities, and much more. Thank you for tuning in to WithinsightsRadio.com. You are listening to WithinsightsRadio.com on the Blog Talk Biz Network, your free online holistic publication resource radio for trusting your intuition, achieving self-discovery, and following your soul self.
Hola amigos, ¿cómo estás? Ignacio Garcia, Jay Kevin, Jayla Imani. We're here live in Columbus, Ohio. We hope you're enjoying the show tonight. We're just kind of having a little round table, hanging out with Jayla, getting to pick her brain a little bit about who she is, and we're just having fun. You have fun?
I am.
Good.
I am enjoying it.
I'm going to take this caller here and see if they have any questions for you or for anybody on the panel. See, they might just be listening, so they may talk to me and not talk. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Do you have any questions for Jayla?
Yes, I do. It's Jay calling from Canada.
Okay.
Thanks for
Welcome.
talking to you.
You as well?
My question. Yes, thank you. My question has to do with grief, and just wondered how your experiences, dealing with it and things like that. Cause
that for me
Or just the panel?
or the panel?
First panel.
Okay.
I'll address grief if I may, and Iggy, you may want to too.
Sure,
You've
sure.
experienced some very recent grief. Grief's just a very, very personal emotion, to say the least. And I think that when you take fear out of dying and take away, the fear that seems to surround it, and give it its proper place in that we all die. If you're born, you're going to die. So, we grieve the loss of somebody because we miss them. But if you can reconcile in your heart and in your brain, because your brain does one thing, your heart does another. And if you can pull those things together and reconcile them with, as long as I carry somebody in my heart, they're no longer dead. That would be number one. And number two, it would be honor them by letting go of your grief. Honor them and their life by saying, wow, I was really blessed to spend time with this person, whomever it was, for however long it was. And think to yourself, surely this is not the end. And hopefully I will get to experience them in some form or fashion after I leave this earth as well. I'm not saying to have some belief system or anything like that, but if you can wrap your head around some of those things that says, I am in spirit form and I'm born into a human body, and when I leave here, I'm going to be a spirit again. So we just kind of continue in another form, so that grief is just a loss of that person who is in that body here on this earth. And although it does hurt, I would never take that away. If you can just make your brain reason enough to go, well, okay, they're in my heart, I can still talk to them, I can still show them pictures because there's spirit everywhere. And you just have to learn to communicate with them and love them in a different shape, in a different fashion. It's like they're living in another country right now. And you can't physically touch them, you can't physically talk to them maybe, but you can do all of those things through your mind and in your heart. And you'll find, I believe this with all of my heart, I believe this, what I'm about to say. I believe when you practice those things and you do those things, your grief washes away and it's replaced with this joyfulness, because you realize that person that you're grieving over really is with you all the time. And you get to experience that, and you get to share those things, and you will see things, you'll see signs and wonders everywhere. Yes. That show you that is really happening. And I hope that helped a little bit. Blessings to you. I'm sorry for your grief.
Yeah, I agree with Jan. The year of my grandpa passing just passed in May. So, and my family's taking it really hard, especially my mom. It's literally, I believe that she is in borderline depression because of it. And it saddens me because although the loss of him did, sadden me, I learned from a very young age, or just I just have wisdom beyond my years. So it's I'm able to kind of switch my mindset to I don't like the word grief either. You just have to change your whole mindset about what is happening, because in reality, like Jan said, we're all here for a period of time, and it's when we leave, it's energy energy is never destroyed, it's just recycled. So it's literally impossible for that being to be gone. It's literally impossible.
Exactly.
So when I know it's hard, but sometimes being really technical and really knowing facts really helps with that, because they're not gone. It's impossible for them to be gone. So just change your mindset and just thinking as positively as possible about remembering their lives and remember the good memories you had, and you will get signs in nature, or maybe like a butterfly, maybe the cigar they smoked, you smell it one day, or it's little stuff like that. So yeah,
and everybody's grieving process is different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, some people move through it very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Some people grieve forever. I mean, there's a point where, like Jan said, it was a good point. It's kind of like my mother passed away in February. I didn't quite, still can't wrap my mind around it, you know, because she's always been there.
Sure.
You know, she's always been, you know, a good support for me. But, you know, I put her in the place where she's on a trip, like she's doing something very, very magical. And one day I'll catch up with her and meet her. And that's been helping me a lot to be able to do that, because children, number one, grieve differently than adults do. Children can just be they're very, you know, nonchalant about it, going, aren't you going to grieve? I already did.
Right.
You know?
But they're still more connected.
Right.
than
Yeah.
adults
But
are.
adults, we're
Right.
so we hold so much memory and so much information in our minds that we aren't able to process it sometimes, because it's the experiences, it's the memories that we hold on to people, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
We're still moving through that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Personally, I would just take your time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't
yes.
rush it.
True.
Don't push it. Whatever you are.
Yes.
One day, I will believe that you will say, "I'm okay with this now." You know, I understand. You'll understand, because while you're moving through the process of grieving, you'll learn who you are.
Right.
You know, and how vulnerable you are, and how open you are, or how closed you are.
Yeah.
Because what happens when you're grieving, you either shut down or you open. You kind of you're either going through all the gamuts of emotions.
Yeah.
You know, you're going up. You're in the positives. You're in the negatives. You're in the defiance, and you're in the aloof. All those modes.
Right. I also find it, if I may, when you're in a period of grief and you're courageous enough to reach out and ask somebody, what do
Yeah.
you do with grief? Which you are right now, by the way.
Absolutely.
And I'm really, you know, honored by that. So when you're courageous enough to reach out and ask somebody about grief, then you are at a point where you are able to do some scientific work. I mean, it sounds technical, like Jayla said, but nonetheless, these things really help me. Look up subatomic particles. That's subatomic particles. That's what everything is, including humans. That's what everything is. You know, there's nothing that doesn't come from this earth. You know, the table, the computer, everything that we use comes from this earth. And that's right, we're all energy. And so if you can break things down like that and recognize that human emotion that you're having is beautiful. It's beautiful. It is something that we have yet to explain. We can talk about our bones, and we can talk about our brains, and we can see all of these things, but nobody has been able to define that human emotion, that human spirit that is so powerful in us. So it's a great time when you're courageous enough to ask about grief.
Yeah.
Then it's time for you to say, I want to know more. I need to dig deeper into me, and what am I all about? Because that's kind of where I feel like you're leaning. And I didn't mean to do a reading, but I just felt it.
No, you know, but in Western culture, we don't have ceremony. We don't
Right.
hold ritual. You know, burying somebody, and you know, have the pastor or the preacher up there praying. And for a lot of people, that's not enough.
No.
You know, in other cultures, you know, in Native indigenous cultures, they have ceremony because they believe that their ancestors never died.
Right.
They're with us. So they will have ceremony, dances, stuff. If you ever notice, when after the wake or after the funeral, everybody gets together and eats.
course.
I
Fellowship.
mean, that's probably the closest thing that we have in Western culture, where we remember, we show pictures and stuff. And, you know, but we don't really, we're remembering, but we're not, you know, hopefully we're celebrating. Hopefully we're going, yeah, you know. But in indigenous cultures, our people never die.
Right.
Yeah.
And we also prepare them. You
And-
know, I'm a death duelist, so, you know, I mean, I'm with people when they die a lot. And on the other hand, too, we prepare our loved ones.
Sure.
You know, we don't send them to funeral homes.
Mhm.
So, you know, there's a lot of things that we need to bring back that would
Sure.
really help with the grieving process. Because you're ministering to your loved one. You're the one who's ministering to them in their final hours here on this earth.
And that's what I find
Yeah,
with
it's
hospice
really-
programs now. I do
They're
drumming.
coming
I do
back.
grief drumming
Grief
for
drumming,
people,
yes,
and I hold circles
absolutely.
for people who've lost family members or remembrance. It's something, you know, that they didn't have, they weren't able to do. And it's not for everybody, but those who do come, they leave with something. There's something in their heart that, you know, has changed because, you know, if you've been there, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what it's like.
Good stuff. That's what I was going to ask. Did you say you're in Canada?
Yes, I am. I'm in Canada, Western Canada.
In Western Canada. So I'm just going to throw this out there. There's a few people, I don't know whose site you were on. We have people everywhere, all over the world.
Very good.
Yeah, just looking for something in close proximity where I'm. BC is actually the province next door, so to Alberta, that's where I live. So.
I know people there too, so we can probably get you some help. You'll just have to contact us through the internet and let us know how, and I'll send you some people.
Yeah, and you can go to my website, iggygarcia.com, and there's a link there to get in contact with me. Or you can just send me an email at iggygarcia@gmail.com. So that's a quick way.
That work.
We appreciate your phone call. We appreciate your phone call.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks much.
Okay.
And stay strong.
Blessings,
Stay positive.
blessings, blessings.
Bye.
Take care.
You too. Aw. Bless his heart.
Yeah, you know, right
Grief
here.
is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grief is hard. Well, now there's a big lesson, if I may. There's a big lesson in empathy, one, because I could feel that. I mean, you can truly, I could have cried with him. So that's that empathy. You can feel him. You can feel that pain.
Yeah. Even through the phone.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. And there's something called long distance healing, because energy knows no bounds.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can be sitting at this table and I can be doing, the healing touch program, healing touch on somebody in Canada. It doesn't matter how far away it is. It's intent and it's energy.
Yeah.
So you can send that energy. I mean, it sounds woo-woo-y, but it's not. It's all scientific. It's bioscience, biofield sciences. Science. Hospitals are talking about it. It's integrative healthcare. We don't do anything magic. We don't do anything that anybody else can't do. We just have done the work, and that's one of my big sayings.
Do the work.
You have to You have
I know
to do
it.
the work. I hear people talk about it all the time. Why can't I do that? Well, you haven't done the work, have you? You have to do the work, and it takes a while. You just don't get. Nobody is born walking.
Right.
You just aren't.
Yeah, that's true.
The cool thing about spirituality, though, is that it comes much quicker than walking.
Absolutely, I don't disagree.
Like that.
Slap in the face.
It comes
Right.
really fast.
Spirituality comes fast. I'm in
There are other
total
things.
agreement with that.
Other
But
things.
using your gifts
Yes.
properly with
Yes.
discernment
Properly.
and other things,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
that's where you have to do the work.
That's where you have to really go, what is this? What I need to,
Right.
they follow the smoke, they're there.
Mhm.
Now it's like, okay, I'm at the fire pit.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Mhm.
We're here.
Yeah, and the emotion in you, wants to join in immediately and go, woo, and dance and participate and drum or whatever the ceremony happens to be. But there is truly a proper protocol for drumming in ceremony or dancing in ceremony. And although we're really excited, we didn't do the work to learn what those protocols were. So we can come to the smoke and we can be excited to be there and we can feel it and we can want to participate. And that's the whole point right there. We want everybody to be like that.
Yeah, then
Once
they get there. Then they're going, what happened? I don't know I can't ground, or I'm
Right.
not feeling good.
All right,
It's not-
guys. All right, guys. All right.
I never
No,
told
but
him that.
you're not the only person. This happens to a lot of people.
This is everybody.
This is everybody. It happened to me.
Including me and
It happened to me.
Iggy. We all went
I've
through
been there.
this.
I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah,
and
me
then,
too.
and then all of a sudden,
I was
I'm like,
too.
I'm laying there going, whoa.
What
like,
the
I can't even
flower.
talk. But now
Relatable.
I've been learning that process.
Yeah.
I have people go, hey, you know what? Just breathe. You said earlier, breathe. Blow it out. There's things you do. I remember when I was doing this work, I got to the point where I was one of the last dancers in Great Council for when we did the winter dance, where we would drum. They would dance that dance for 3 days. Okay, but that day we would dance for because we'll do that in September. What was it? It was close to 4 or 5 hours I was dancing. I didn't even know it was 4 or 5 hours. I didn't even realize it. And I'm dancing, and the full moon's out, and we're dancing, and we're going, and everybody's dropping off, and then I ask, I go, so what's going on? Well, I said, well, we're here to support you. I'm supporting you. He says, you're the last dancer. You haven't dropped yet.
Yeah.
And so, out of respect for everybody, I stopped, but I could have danced all night. The reason they do that is because you go into a trance, you go into a meditative state,
Right.
you get a message from Spirit, and when Spirit sends you that message, okay, they write it down. because there's a message from Spirit. So when we go to the Nemaha Great Council, that's what we do. We register that. We want to see what Spirit had to share. And even the ones that go down, they ask him, what happened? You know, what was your vision? Because the winter dance is about preparing for winter and preparing for spring. And you need snow.
Right.
You know, up in the mountains, you need the snow, because if you don't have the snow, then you don't have crops. Or they don't grow very well, because you need the water to run off the mountaintops. So they would pray for snow, heavy snow, and make sure, because sometimes it doesn't snow. And so that's what the winter dance is. That was also the ghost dance. And if you know anything about the ghost dance, you know, that's when you call and invoke spirits, you call, and all those people lost their lives because somebody else didn't understand what they were doing. So they were afraid. We talked about that earlier. And then, you know what, so they went in the cavalry, went in there and killed all those people. You know, because of sheer, number one, ignorance, and not willing to learn, and wanting people to assimilate to their culture versus embracing someone else's culture. You know, people perish, but that's happened through all history.
For sure.
White, black, doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, Peruvians were enslaved. You know, before they were called Peruvians, you know, the indigenous people were Peru, the Incas.
Right.
You know, there are Irish who were enslaved. You know, the Irish people had their caste system who was enslaved.
course.
So slavery is not
There's not a
new,
culture.
it's not really
that's
anything. No
not
cultures.
enslaved.
Every culture's been affected by
That's
some
right.
kind of slavery.
Absolutely.
You know, we're probably more in tune to it now because, you know, slavery is more prevalent to black culture.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
it's part of what you endured in a shorter time. But there have been people, you know, almost every person on this planet has had some generation of slavery. But then it gets into past lives and all kinds of stuff, and we'll talk about that on the show.
Yeah. You know, you said something that interested me a lot, and that was when you were talking about the ceremony and you were the last one to dance and you hadn't fallen yet.
Mhm.
Okay? So I only bring it up because you had mentioned about religion, you know, when we first started this conversation. And having studied just probably about every religion there is out, air quotes, there is out there, it amazes me that we all have the same rituals. We all have the same slain in the spirit. You know, go to a Pentecostal church, there's tongues, there's spirit, there's people falling on the ground.
Yeah.
Go to a powwow, there's drumming, there's speaking of tongues, there's falling on the ground. You know, the Baptists have theirs. We all, Buddhists. Well, Buddhist isn't really religion, so let's not go there. But Muslim, Judaism, we all have those. We're all the same in that ritual, so to speak.
Like the Sufis, they're drummers.
Exactly. So it just kind of, I understand that organized religion thing is a problem for a lot of us. A lot of us. But I think it's certainly nice to be able to recognize that for me, it's nice to be, for me personally, that I have a higher power. And I like to think about that. It's comforting to me. No matter what that is to me, that's mine, you know. Even if it's my higher self, whatever it is. But that's a comfort. It's just a way to hold my feet to the ground and be good.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't be good anyhow, but you know, there's a fine line.
Yeah.
I know me pretty well.
And I was gonna say, I just believe, I don't think religion, bad and good is subjective, but I don't think that religion is necessarily bad, because whether or not you're whatever religion that you're ascribing to, you're still giving thanks to a higher power that deserves thanks. So it's like, I feel like religion is allowed in a sense, and not allowed like a human for it, like allowed in a sense, because it's bringing people closer to things that they don't even know that they're really getting.
Oh, that's a
closer to.
really, really great way to look at something.
Sure.
That was awesome.
It's us that, I want to say, corrupts part of it, not all of it.
Oh
but
yeah,
part of it.
I kind of think you're right.
You know, we had our God version.
It's the man thing.
Yeah, it's our God version.
It's just the man
because
thing.
you know we are a splinter of God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and most religions believe. Some religions believe that, some don't. But we are. You know, if we're from the cosmos or we're from everything,
Sure.
then we're part of God
Then yeah.
or Goddess, whatever you
Well,
want.
there's
to
another another radio show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to interject if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
You'll probably kick me under the table, but I just want to. I just want to put this out there because it's who I am. So Iggy has done these shows for years and years and years, and
Have I a disclaimer on this?
no, you can put a disclaimer if you want to.
Disclaimer.
I'm just saying that donations are really important. You know, they really help us continue to do the work that we do, and I'm really big into that because it's an honor. It's an honor. Oh, my dog's
And the
barking.
dog's pulling it too.
It's an honor for you to donate, if that makes sense, and I hope that it does. I want you to look at your hearts and just really feel about that. It's just nothing's free, and we all have to eat too.
Sure.
So sorry, I don't hope I'm not to embarrass you, but
No, that's
you know,
fine. You
it's
know,
important. It's important.
You know, that's what a lot of folks don't understand. Some do, some don't. That
Excuse me.
your spirits, your gifts are. You can't put a price on your gift.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can put a value on your time, which is important because what's the difference of going to a dentist or a doctor or a lawyer or, you know, a psychiatrist, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You name it, you fill in the blank. You know?
Yeah.
Our time is valuable. You know, everybody's, and I think sometimes in our community that gets a big misconception gets misconstrued. People really don't take it serious. Okay, maybe the word is serious. They don't take it serious.
Seriously.
You know.
Grammar queen.
Yeah. So, and I think people understand what I'm saying.
I'm sure they do.
But you know that it's just not. It's secondary sometimes. You know, but the ones who do get it, they actually get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
You know, they get the healing because there's an energy exchange. They exchange it. They exchange the energy. You know.
Yeah.
You know, they gave me a chicken. I'd take a chicken if I needed a chicken. But you know, if they bought me dinner, that's an exchange. You know, they lend me a few dollars as an exchange. What happens is when you don't exchange energy, then you have this underlying resentment. Okay, and that's what you don't want to have.
No.
Okay, especially a lot of young healers like yourself. And this is a good lesson for young healers because they're so excited and they're so pumped, and it only takes one person, one negative Nanny, you know, or Ted, to say bullshit, bullshit. How do you handle that? But you do what you do. You do exactly what you do. You keep smiling. You keep embracing. You keep sending him love. That's it. Because we don't know his story.
Yeah.
His story is his story. That's why it's called history. It's
Yeah.
his story.
His story.
Okay. They write their story. That he who wins or she who wins writes their story. Okay.
Speaking of stories,
Mhm.
we're going to be having some story fires.
Mhm.
And I just thought I'd bring that up. You can find that out on IggyGarcia.com,
Mhm.
IggyGarcia.com.
Yeah.
And look at the calendar on there. Some really good things coming up.
Mhm.
Some nice classes coming up. And I think the fire meditation and story fires will be really nice for people. Be a great way to not only fellowship but to have some good healing around fire, some ceremony, and truly to be able to have story time like we used to have.
Sure.
And everybody gets to participate,
And that's where the learning came from.
and that is
Around
exactly where
fire.
it came from.
You know, the Cub Scouts, they share stories.
Right.
You know, the Girl Scouts do that too. They will sit there and just they'll tell ghost stories and stuff. But that's how stories get passed down.
That's
You
right.
know, in my tradition, that's how stories get passed down. You know, you're passing a story down every time we do your videos. You know, and we do your Instagrams. You're passing down a story, and you will always touch the people that you're supposed to touch.
Yeah.
You know, Jana, I may never even be remotely close to even engaging with those people.
Right.
But you are a different light. You're a different beacon. And as a beacon, you attract the right frequencies to you.
Yeah. For
Like
sure.
energies attract.
Mhm.
Like on your videos, what do you do on your videos?
My YouTube videos.
YouTube videos.
So my YouTube videos, I do different topics, I do different topics that help me along my personal journey.
Mhm.
And then whoever receives that and takes it into their own journey, that's awesome. If you're just watching it to get information. That's awesome too. So I am vegan. I've been vegan for, I want to say like a few months now, and then vegetarian for a few months before then. So that's one thing I talk about. Health is wealth. I talk about you know, my journey when it comes to how I feel about religion, how I feel about different types of things that I've experienced in my journey, my personal journey. And I really like to emphasize that it's my personal journey because everybody's journey is different. And if you hear something that resonates with you, you were supposed to hear it. So I've been slacking on my YouTube a little bit, but I've been working on myself. So that's been what's most important to me. And then like doing the Instagram stuff. So I'm about to get back on my YouTube for sure. I got a lot of positive feedback on there. A lot of people were telling me that I was inspiring them and that I'm inspirational, which is awesome. And yeah.
Do you have a website?
I do not have a website yet, but all I have is Instagram, Jayla.Imani. Follow me on Instagram. I have a Facebook, Jayla Imani. So that's my
Want
name.
to spell that, please?
JaylaImani. So that's my Instagram. So follow me on Instagram if you want to see some good posts that make you happy.
Awesome.
Very nice.
I'm gonna cut and paste that and put it on our feed here for those who need the spelling and didn't hear that for some reason. Technology, you love it or you hate it, right?
We're both. Right now, I really do love it and hate it.
You know, it's one of those things that just happens to be where we're at now. You know, we either adapt or we don't. It's crazy. We have another caller, so we're gonna take them and see if they have any questions for any of us.
Okay.
You know. You doing all right?
Good. I'm doing great.
Good. You enjoying this?
I am.
Isn't it fun?
Vibrating for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Good,
I
good.
like that.
You know, I was telling Jayla earlier that on the radio, on the show, you kind of get this euphoria that runs through your body. You kind of get like a little more animated.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a really shy person, really. And you know, when I'm like on my own, I'm really shy.
I'm extremely shy.
You know, so when this platform really brings out the pieces and parts of me that are in there, so I'm able to express and share. So, and when I started this show years ago, is because I wanted to have my own radio station when I was a kid, when I was like 15. I walked into the ham store radio where they sold components to build your own radio station, low frequency radio stations. And I didn't know, I was just curious. And I walk up to the counter and these two old dudes, you know, they were probably in their late 60s, 70s, you know. They didn't know any better. I said, and I was excited, I said, so what do I need to start a radio station? You know, I want to start my own radio station. And they're like, dude, they didn't say dude, they said, son, that takes millions and millions of dollars to run your own radio station. And I was like, you probably won't ever do that. That's what he told me. Just like that. And I remember this. And I'm going, what, crush moment, you know? I was just totally like, well, I guess I'm not doing that. And then, you know, I let it go. But I always had that desire.
You didn't let it go.
Yeah, I always had that desire
And
to
here
do
we
it.
are.
And then, you know, other people sowing the seeds of creation opened the doors for me to go into that garden and find the aspects that I needed to find. I wasn't the creator per se. I sowed seeds, but I didn't know I put them in soils. So I somehow said to the universe at a young age, I'd like to own my own radio station or do radio or be a host. And so, like I said, I put it in the back burner. Then one day, I'm sitting, this is almost 10 years ago, and I'm sitting and I'm looking, you know, 2 years before that, if there's a way to do it, because everything's advancing now. You know, in 2012 came, you know, there was about acceleration. And then I saw this platform, I saw Block Talk, and I go, well, I can have my own radio station. Not only can I have my own radio station, it's global, it's worldwide. It's like in every country, people listen to it.
Right.
Canada.
It's not, you know, it's not just Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
People ask me, so where did your shows go? Well, everywhere. Everywhere you want it to be.
Right.
And so that dream came true. Now, in that dream, I still have to foster things. There's some things I'm still working on. Even after 10 years, I'm still developing things, bringing in new people, and I've had people come in and work with me, and other people fall away, and that's just the process. But here we are. because I had a desire and a dream and something to, push forward into that. And, is it perfect? No, but there's perfection in imperfection. So that we're learning.
That's right.
So that's why, I like to, I love it.
It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, you love it,
I love watching you, and it's funny because your videos are kind of long, and I watch all of it, and I'm just like, I really enjoy every second. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm literally doing everything else I need to do, and still I can't shut it off, even though I can watch it later. In my head, I can't watch it later. So, what's later?
Yeah.
So I watch it all, and I enjoy it.
I was telling, thank you. Thank you nice. I was telling Jan, there's a big difference between the video feed version and the radio version. And you'll have to go and
There
check it
is
out.
indeed. I know, because we talked about it.
I've noticed it myself because I can listen to myself on the radio versus watch the feed playing out. It's just funny how that is. You hear something that you didn't hear before, which is kind of neat. Like in the video, you kind of get distracted and things, but when you're just listening, you have to create this image in your mind of what he's saying, how he's painting the picture, how he's showing the animals.
Yeah,
Reading a book.
Yeah, that's what. To go back to when you were talking about the birds, I visualized the whole thing. I thought, I thought,
Oh yeah,
I thought,
it was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
So let's take a quick break, and then we'll bring callers on, because I want to continue. Don, do you have time, right?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I'd be with that.
Okay, so this is a great break for you, and then we'll
Okay.
continue with.
Here we go.
We're going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back, folks. We hope you're enjoying our show here, Iggy Garcia Live, episode 52, with my guest, Jayla Imani. She's sharing with her insights, her inspirations, her desires, and the things that she is doing in her path, and the things that she's enjoying and sharing with the world, and with sharing it with the world, she's learning as well, learning how to navigate it, how to move through it, as we all are. So we'll be right back. Don't go away.
You are listening to InsightsRadio.com, your free online resource for achieving self-discovery and inspiration. With Insights Radio, it's a listener-supported radio station, and your donations are greatly appreciated. We cover a variety of topics, interviews surrounding the metaphysical and holistic and natural medicine, alternative healing modalities, and much more. Thank you for tuning in to WithinSightsRadio.com.
We're jamming. Oh yeah. And we are back with Iggy Garcia Live, the Naked Shaman.
Not at my table.
Not at my table. If for those of you who wonder what that means, to be naked, to let go, and to just be yourself, that's what it truly means to be naked. It's to be able to be vulnerable, to be yourself, and just let it hang. I don't.
You could say that too. There's a naked shaman for you.
There's one of those puns in there.
There you go.
Rapunzel, where are you?
Yeah.
Okay, but no, that's what Naked Shaman's about. That's what the show's about. It's about being yourself. And sometimes when we do this work, we have to get naked. We have to be vulnerable. We have to let go of our appearances. We have to let go of those boundaries and those things that we create in order to open up ourselves for the healing. Because all healing is self-healing. No matter how many people may run energy on you, touch you, move you, lift you, levitate you, it's your healing because you've opened the door for that process. You've opened the door for that to occur. So that means it's your healing, your self-healing. You're prepared in yourself. You're in the preparation mode. If you don't, you don't do it.
That's right. That's one of the questions. I had a question too for you. Jayla was, Iggy was, sharing with the audience while you were visiting elsewhere about, you on your journey and the work that you're doing, and you're doing good work, and you're really helping people, and it's amazing. But my question to you is, would you share with the audience what you're doing, maybe to learn a little bit more about your gifts and how you're going about that, or what are you doing to get healing yourself. You know, everything is self-healing, obviously. When you help somebody else, you're healing also.
Yeah.
But sometimes healers need to go to other people
Yeah.
and get help. And so, do you have anything you'd like to share about that with people so that they would know maybe what to do as well?
One thing I do is every day I make sure I do some spiritual work. If that's like listen to a podcast, watching a YouTube video, I do something every day that revolves around my spirituality, or learning something about manifestation, or learning something about the law of attraction, or learning something about meditation. So every day I do a little. Every single day I do something that's spiritual, or watch something that's spiritual, or listen to something that's spiritual. Because once you start doing it, as you know, I can be eager. I just want more and more and more. So I enjoy doing it. It's not a task, and that motivates me in a way because it gives me like a foreshadowing of my life. Because like the things that I'm doing is not going to be a task. It's not going to be work. It's going to be my lifestyle, and I'm going to enjoy doing it. So that keeps me motivated, and it gets me excited for what's to come, for sure. Some ways that coming to Jan and Iggy, they're definitely a blessing in my life, for sure. I'm so appreciative of you guys. I talk about you guys all the time, and I don't know, I just like being. Like being is where you get the most, like, just like just be there. Like, you know, it's like I went to New Orleans, and like that was around the time a lot of energy shit was happening, like, and I was just like up and down, up and down, up and down. And when I got back, I was supposed to go to work right like the day after, and I'm just like, I can't, so much energy, I just can't. And it's like part of me was reserved, like, oh, you have to go to work. And the other part of me is like, no, I need a rest, like I need a break. Even God took a break when creating the world. So, I mean, who am I to not break and God's breaking? That's what I think. Like, who am I?
I kind of like that.
So, just gotta be. You have to know how to relax. This society we live in is so fast. And it was built like this, so we can never be connected. So if we're always distracted and have anxiety and this and that, we can never be connected. And that's why it was built this way, so we can be in a mental slavery. So you have to be. It's so important to just be. You don't always have to be doing something. Like, so that's one thing that helps me hone into my gifts and understand. Oh, being alone. Being alone is when I started to be like, this is who I am. Because when you're around people, when you have this need to be around people all the time, people I don't want to say they press their beliefs on you, but it's like you get residue. You get residue, and you think that you're coming up with things on your own, and you think that these are the ways that you think, but no, these are the way that the people you're around think. So being alone is very important. Enjoying your own company, being happy in your own company. And I know it sounds basic because everybody's like, you can't be in a relationship if you can't be alone. But it's like, it's very true. It's very true, because if you get into a relationship and you can't be alone, you're depending on that person for your happiness, and they're literally controlling every aspect of your life. And that's also what that toxic relationship taught me. I wasn't ready to be in a relationship, and I just, like, ever since I was younger, like, that's all I wanted, relationship. It's like I didn't love myself. So how am I supposed to get somebody who deserves me and loves me how I'm supposed to be loved if I can't even love myself the way I'm supposed to be loved? So yeah, that's another thing that relationship taught me. So yeah, being alone, studying, very important. Journaling, very important. So yeah, those are the things that I've been working on to, get myself right.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Good. And we're learning from you more than you think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, wow, that's pretty cool. That's good stuff.
it is good stuff.
Yeah, just be.
Absolutely.
Just be.
It's something I've heard before, but it's like you forget sometimes. It is a good reminder. That's the whole thing about being on this journey, is that we all here to share with each other.
Right.
The experiences we have, because all our experiences are our own.
Yeah.
It's like the monk who rang the bell too many times, and he went to his master and he goes, I know I was supposed to ring it 7 times, but I ran it 8 times. And the master goes, so?
You're right.
Only you knew it rang 8 times. Everybody else thought it ran 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good stuff. So I'm gonna plug a Kind Human Company for a second.
Okay.
Talking about this fast-paced world and technology, which is a beautiful thing. We wouldn't be having this conversation at this table right now probably if it weren't for the wonderful technology that we have. So nothing against that, but there also is that other element of bringing back human contact.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we have something called the Humanity Restoration Project, and it's a bunch of little projects kind of coming about, and little seeds that have been planted, and they're being nurtured and cultivated. That's the word, cultivated. So if my personal website's not up right now, but you can find out about a lot of the things that we're doing at akindhumanco.com. That's A as in apple, kind, K-I-N-D, human, .co, C-O, or kindhumanco.com. And check some of those things out. They're some of them pretty fun. We've got the Love Note on there. It's Love Note 321.
The Love Note.
And yeah, the Love Note's really fine. And you'll see some other things that are coming up. And a lot of things aren't even on there yet that we haven't even been able to put on there yet. But just really starting to take shape. So the Humanity Restoration Project is, wow, we pushed the go button.
Yeah.
We pushed the go button.
I love that 321.
Yeah,
it's
the Love
funny.
Note 321.com.
The Love Note. I love it because it's kind of like 1111. Somebody just started doing it,
Right.
and I started putting it on my face. My face, I go, put it on my phone. And then one person goes, well, you should change this to. Did you see that one? Someone said from healing to health to healing to health or something. I don't know. That people are already like processing and moving through their, and I didn't say anything because that's what they need.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what they need to go through. That's what they need to hear. That's the aspects they're working on.
Right.
It's evolving on its own. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So let's bring this caller on and see if they have any questions for us.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Hi. How are you guys?
Who is this? Who are we talking to?
Gabriella.
Gabriella. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Gabriella.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's on your mind?
Well, I just got out of a relationship and it was a very hard couple of days. And a little moment now, and I'm starting over, and I don't know what to do. He's giving me problems, but I just need some clarity or some direction because I feel like I'm just drowning right now.
Sure.
Wow, I think this one's for me. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, I guess, I don't know if this is gonna be evasive, excuse me if it is, but was it a mutual breakup or was it one-sided?
No, it was kind of one-sided.
Okay, was it his side or your side?
Hers.
I think it was more my side.
Okay, so
No, it was just too much.
So, do you ever feel yourself? I have a feeling that you feel yourself going back and forth of whether you made the right decision or if you guys should be together or not.
Yeah, I do. But it's not, the relationship wasn't good for me. It's a very abusive and fulfilling relationship.
There you
So I
go.
just feel that I feel.
There you go. And my last relationship that I was actually speaking about, toxic, it was abusive as well, in all aspects. So I feel you, for sure. I feel you. And the fact that you took the steps to end it, good for you. Seriously, good for you, because there are people who are in abusive relationships who just stay because they feel stuck. Nobody's ever stuck. So really good for you for getting out of that, and I'm just so happy and proud of you for getting out of that because I know how hard it is to get out of it. It becomes manipulative, you feel like this is where you need to be, and you got out. So I'm really happy for you. 1. 2, you broke up with him because you knew what was best for you, and yourself was telling yourself what you needed to do, so trust yourself. Trust yourself. Yourself told you what you needed to do. You did it. Now we got to move on. And I know it's hard, and it's easier said than done, but trust me, 5 months, you're going to look back and like, I really dealt with that? I really put up with this? And right now, I understand that he still has a certain hold over you. I understand 100%. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And you're going to get, everything is going to dwindle off in your own time. Like, it's not like, oh, tomorrow you're going to wake up and everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay when it's okay for you. Like, but you have to keep taking those steps forward. You can't stay stagnant. You can't be like, okay, now what? You have to you have to keep going forward. And I know it's easy to stay stuck, but moving forward is what's best for you. So is he harassing you any?
Well, he's making it seem like I'm harassing him. Like, he has a business, and his business partner was trying to help me, and he ruined it for me. He called the cops on me, and now I found out that he's trying to use my roommate to claim like a restraining order or harassment, and I just don't know why he's so evil towards me.
Are you listening?
I'm a little worried.
I have to tell you this. Are you listening? And this is really, you really have to hold on to what I'm about to tell you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
How he treats you is how he feels about himself. It has nothing to do with you. I really need you to understand that, because in this situation, it's easy to feel like, oh, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault. No, he's treating you like that because that's how he feels about himself. He doesn't love himself. He doesn't respect himself, because if he did, he would love and respect you. And I'm sorry if this is like, I don't know how this is going to sound, but you didn't love and respect yourself to attract that to you. So now you have to take this time and be alone and discover what makes you happy and love yourself. You have to love yourself right now, because it can be easy to try to distract yourself and get into another situation. That's really, really easy, but this is going to end the same way. You have to take the time for yourself and learn yourself and love yourself. You have to. Like, it's so, 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 so important. And then once you start loving yourself, you're like, what was I doing? One day you're going to wake up and be like, wow, like, why did I ever think that I needed that in my life?
I agree.
Gabriella,
I need to love myself.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take a deep breath. Ready? Inhale that. Just feel it. Feel that breath coming out of you. Jayla's right. It's not going to be easy in the beginning, but this is a good opportunity for you to create healthy limits and boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
Because somehow we have allowed somebody else to cross those boundaries of who we are. We get in relationships and we take people for granted, and things just happen. Here's an opportunity for you to rediscover who you are. And that will happen over a course of time. You're doing it now, because you're going out, honestly, to total strangers that you don't know. But we are not strangers.
Not at all.
Because we're all connected. We're all part of this grand universe.
Along with the people who are doing this to
Yes,
you.
along with the people there. And we're not giving them a pass. We're not giving them anything, but we are wanting you to see that that you're more beautiful than you probably think you are.
Yeah, for sure.
You have an amazing heart. You have an amazing gifts that you know what they are. Maybe we don't, but I know that you have gifts, because we all have gifts.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know what? The world's waiting for you to share those gifts. And you're going to invite the most amazing person to your life at some point. But you have to be in preparation. This is a preparation time for you.
Yeah.
To get into that space and that frame of mind to open that.
Yes.
I'm going to just chime in for a moment. I'm like that practical person that I am. So I'm just going to put it out there. Do not engage in any way, shape, or form with him or anybody else that is a negative in your life right now. Don't engage in any way, shape, or form. Don't think about it. If you can possibly, don't talk about it. Don't talk to anybody about it. Find somebody who is absolutely neutral, that has no skin in this game. In other words, they don't care what happens to you or somebody else. Not that they really don't care, but their outcome is not vested in you, and their outcome is not vested in your ex.
Nobody.
And that is the person you go to and say, help me. I'm not thinking clearly. I'm overwhelmed by all of this. And I don't know how to do 1, 2, and 3, because I already feel like I'm at 4, 5, and 6, but I don't know how I got there. So find that person. Find that person. It might be somebody at church. It might be it could be many. It could be the checkout person at your grocery store. It could just be somebody that you can just say, help me.
Yeah.
And they don't know anything about it. Don't be all one-sided, because there's fault for you in this as well. There is with all relationships. You know, you're part in this. And think like that. Go back to thinking instead of that feeling. Get out of your heart and get into your head for a little bit. I sound very stern. I'm sorry about that, but that's kind of what I'm doing on purpose, to get you out of your emotion. You need to be out of your emotions right now. You need to be in your head right now. Put your feet on the ground and say, I have work to do. I have work to do. I love myself enough that I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to get this restraining order stuff taken care of. This is not the way I'm going to live my life. And when you look in the mirror tomorrow or tonight, you look in that mirror and that person looking back at you says, you're worth it. You are a divinely created woman. You have an innate right to be joyful. You have an innate right to be happy. And you have an innate right not to be abused. And so claim all those things. Claim those selves for your tonight. Claim those things. They're yours to have. Yeah. And I'm done preaching.
And a few things that I need to say to you is, so you can't entertain it, because that's what fuels him, right? So when he's going, oh, you da-da-da-da-da, you cannot entertain it, because that's what's making him want to do it more.
Right.
So I don't know if there's like a situation where you need to talk to him, because I know in relationships sometimes you share stuff or whatever. There might be certain situations where you need to talk to him. Then I understand that, but keep it very limited, very short. Let him know, make him aware without telling him that, okay, we're talking about what we're talking about, and that's it. Because he will try to pull you in, like, oh, well, da-da-da-da-da, well, da-da-da. Okay, well, I'll talk to you later. Like, you cannot entertain, because that is what fuels them. That's why they do what they do. First and foremost.
Keep kindness in your heart.
Yes. Kill them with kindness.
Yeah,
one.
absolutely.
The second thing I have to tell you is, because I feel like our stories are very similar, especially like with this situation. So I know you don't love yourself like you should, because that's where I was, and that's how I ended up in the situation I was in. You really have to take time to love yourself. And I will say, when did I get out of that relationship? Sometime last year, and now I'm with somebody involved with somebody who treats me how I'm supposed to be treated. And I'm just like, wow, I really dealt with so much BS. And now I'm in a situation where this person, loves me for me. This person gives me things I never thought were possible. But the only reason why they're able to give me these things I never knew was possible, because I went through that situation and I came out of it.
Yeah.
So know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I know that it seems like a dark tunnel right now, but that light, the more you start loving yourself more and more and appreciating yourself and knowing what you deserve, nobody can love you how you deserve to be loved unless you love yourself, period. Point blank, period. So those are my last things.
Quick question. Do you have a bike?
No, I don't have a bike. I have a car.
Or work too.
But you're supposed to ride a bike. I don't know why this is coming out. You need to borrow someone's bike, go to the park. You're supposed to just go out there and just observe on this bike, your surroundings, and just enjoy it. Then when you're done with that, come back home, draw a salt bath, just relax, because you're going to be tired, okay, and have a bowl of ice cream.
I like that
I
vision.
don't know. That's what I saw, and I don't hold
It
back.
sounds good.
All right.
Yes.
So we really appreciate you. Now, if you want to get a hold of anybody here on this panel, you have our information here on the thing. So please don't hesitate.
Please reach out to me if you ever need somebody. I could be that neutral person. You are not burdening me. I would love to talk to you. So you can.
There you go. Wow, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Right in your lap.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You have a
Hey,
beautiful-
blessings,
beautiful
blessings.
See ya.
Mm.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Sometimes we don't know why things come the way they do.
I don't know anything.
It's just like that. It's like I told you earlier. Our stories, all our stories, help others. That's why when we do, at the end of every work, if you ever notice that every meditation, every drum circle, I ask people to share.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that don't share really share more than you think.
Right.
That the ones that speak,
Excuse me.
we hear the auditory part of it and we comprehend that. And you know what? It's just one nugget someone takes. And that's all one person needs is one little nugget. Just one. You don't need all the nuggets. You may get all the nuggets. But if you get one nugget and that heals that part in the heart, okay, then it's done. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and I have people come to me, and I'm sure you've had people come to you. I'm sure you have people come to you saying, "Wow, you know, that really helped me." You don't know what that did for me, and you know, and it may not be that day. It may be later, maybe 5 years from now.
Yeah, it might be.
I have people come to me and go, "You know, I wanted to kill myself, but you said one word. You said one thing that totally changed it."
Yeah.
And they didn't tell me what it was, but you know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've had people, you're gonna have people, I've had people who can say, "Do you remember that time when you shared that with me and you told me this and that?" They ate the bread. They took the slice, you know, and they believed, and they, in their heart, they go, "That's what I need." At that moment. I have so many friends tell me all the time, "Hey, you remember that time you told me?" And I have to be honest, like, you know, Spirit just rolls through me, and sometimes I don't remember what I say. It must have been good because it came from Spirit. That's all I can say. Because we can't remember every conversation. Well, we can, but there's a lot to remember. It all gets like, it's like a beautiful ball of wax, and you can shape it and form it and make into whatever you want.
Yeah. And it's beautiful because a lot of times why you don't remember it because it wasn't meant for you, one.
Absolutely.
And two, it's like people pick up what they need, literally. Like you go to a store, you pick up what you need. You don't pick
That's
up
right.
things that you don't need, you know. And I may not need the same things that you need.
Absolutely.
I don't eat meat. Maybe you want to go get some beef. I don't
That's
need
right.
that, you know.
That's your toolbox you're filling.
There you go.
You know, you're filling the toolbox of your spirit, you know, the things that you resonate with. You're vegan, I'm not necessarily vegan. I can be from time to time,
I see you.
you know.
You know, your soups
Yeah.
and stuff. I need
But-
some recipes.
Yeah. But that's our drinks. We're all much more connected, you know, even Gabriella and the gentleman from Canada.
Oh, that was meant for
You know,
now.
there's a story there that we have to hear again.
Yeah.
A reminder also. You know,
Yes. Daily reminders.
daily reminders.
Daily
Kind of like your
affirmations.
app that you have on your phone. You were sharing with me earlier. You know, so
I feel it.
it's a magical, beautiful world when we have the eyes and the heart and the ears to feel and see it all.
And she's special. She doesn't even know how special she is.
Sure.
I feel it. Like I feel
know,
it.
I
Yeah.
did too. Yeah.
She was very courageous, if you ask me.
It takes great courage. That came right.
It just like
Yeah.
to step out of your comfort zone, because that is a comfort zone.
She was hurting, and it does.
Yeah.
It takes great courage to come out
And you
like
know
that
what?
and ask.
And it
Especially
could,
as soon.
and it could have been someone else saying, "Hey, you need to get out." You know, you're never truly ready,
Mhm.
but you have to move forward. Put on your work boots and your backpack and just do it.
Fear is sometimes literally debilitating.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And no matter what that fear is, fear of leaving, fear of
Mhm.
what's going to happen next, fear of anything, fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
And that's all fear is.
Yeah.
That is all fear is the unknown. If you know what's under the bed, you're not afraid of what's under the bed.
They
You
say
know?
false evidence appearing real.
Yep.
So, you know,
There you go. Well, there's that too.
There you go. but you know, fear is also a good thing sometimes. It also
Absolutely.
it can save us. You know,
Yeah.
it can
That's
protect
where
us.
the ego comes in. You can't have too much, not too little.
Right.
You need it, but
Sure.
if it's too much, then it's not good.
Nope. That's right.
For sure. I don't know if you guys have ever heard, like, we on this planet think like hate is the opposite of love, but I've heard that fear is the opposite of love. And that resonates with me a lot because it's like if you're fearful of something, like you can't love it. You know what I mean? So it's like that was just very interesting. I felt like I should say
And
that.
I've been taught it's all love, even the things we don't think it's love.
Right.
You know, but there's also an awe of love versus all
Right.
love, all love. But none of it's wrong. You know, I've had people challenge me that. Well, what happened to my friend who got killed? Blah, 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 you know, is that love? You know,
That's
people do that.
It just
Yeah.
is.
You know, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
like, how is it a
I
God
mean-
if he took mine to like
He didn't.
no.
She didn't. It did.
That you know what, that we have to put blame somewhere
Yeah.
because it's too big for us to hold.
Because we're human and we have to rationalize it. You can't get through the day without one little juicy rationalization.
And spirit goes,
I mean, like nobody can.
I can handle it. Bring
Of
it on.
course,
I'll
bring
take
it on. Right.
The universe is here to hold it for you. You don't want it, I'll recycle it. That's why I recycle stuff. I don't know if you ever noticed the work I do.
Recycle.
I like whatever I don't need, recycle it back to the universe and bring it back
There it
in a
is.
way that is more empowering for everybody. Because
And I say those things. I mean, I literally say them out loud, and you've heard me. I say, you know what? I don't need this anymore. It has served whatever it needed to serve in me, and I'm done with it. And here, you can have it back. You know, whatever. Here it is. Blah 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 blah. But in its place, and I always ask for this. In its place, I would like to feel some peace about that,
sure.
and just, I'm done with it. That's it. It's done.
Yeah.
And to me, it's that simple. I
Yeah.
love simplicity. I have a very, very beautiful mind, which I know that I do, that can do very complicated things, but I love simplicity. And the work that we do is actually very simple. Very simple.
All right, I have something I want to bring up that's vulnerable for me, like a situation. I want to bring up the healing circle that we had. I don't think I remember everything that happened, but I would like you guys' perspective on what happened in that moment. I know you told me kind of like how you felt about it, but I feel like there was moments I don't remember, like. So
Yeah. I bet there's moments you don't
yes,
remember.
and I want to know what happened, and I don't mind telling people.
Do we have time?
Yeah, we have 22 minutes.
Okay, I'm ready. So you want to tell them about the drumming circle at the Reiki Center? That's where we work.
Maybe we should start there.
Let's go there, please.
Sure.
And would you do that?
Well, number one, when we do healing circles, it's by invitation. So we invite people to actually let their guard down a little bit and to take in whatever they need to do. In the circle, we drum together, we work together, we try to become in sync together. Okay, and so what happens is in that circle, we're all releasing in our own way. Okay, so there's no wrong or right way to release. Some release more introverted, some release very extroverted, but there's no wrong way. It just is. And most of the people who are there are generally aware of that's going to happen. Now, if you come late, it changes the whole game for that person who comes late because they're kind of in catch-up mode and they don't know what's happening. So, but they enjoy it. So when we're there, we're opening our hearts and our spirits to receive the things that we need to receive. Some of the things you would receive, like if you were like out of it, you're receiving them, okay? And the thing is, you're never ready or not ready. It just comes when you're in those trance, because you're in a trance state. The drumming creates a trance state, okay? It opens up portals in your own mind of things you can see, things that you don't really want to see again, and things that you have to work on. So we're healing and we're letting go. Some people will let go 5 drum circles later. Some people will let go right now. You know, I can't say what you did because Jan actually worked on you, but there were some things that you had to process, and the only way you're going to process is to go deep. And the only way you can go into who you are and how you saw what you needed to see and what you had to experience and why you didn't bring back certain things. I believe that you did bring things back that you needed to see, and they manifested themselves out, but sometimes things manifest outwardly and they just play out, and they're not really for us to
Realize.
you know, we don't go into trance to go, okay, this is what I'm going to see. Sometimes we go into trance just to heal the pieces and the parts. Because spirit does the work. I don't do the work. I just facilitate the energy flowing through. I'm going to become a hollow bone and I open up. Your job is to figure out strategies to ground yourself. Okay? She was there. That's not by chance. That's not by coincidence. Okay? It's not that I wasn't showing you grounding. I didn't have to. She was. She was already there for you. She was already sent to you by spirit to do that work with you, not me. My job was to open you up. Her job was to close you and show you how to close. We all have jobs on this spiritual path. Some of us hold the seeds. Some of us plant the seeds. Some of us walk away, and the other person comes in and watches the plants grow, and they trim them, and they cut them. Another person comes in, cuts the harvest, sends it off. Okay. The other person processes it, takes it. Okay. So in your particular journey, there are things that I can't help you with. Perceived help. She can. Because you've already made a sacred contract with her to help you ground. You didn't make a sacred contract with me to help you ground. You had made a sacred contract with me to open you to the process. And how you experience the process will be a part of me, a part of her, a part of the person next to you, or whatever you brought back. So you can't really just say it's like opening a bottle of wine, because that's kind of what we did. We opened up like one of those bottles up there. Okay, now you gotta drink it, or put it away, cork it again. But once you cork that, you can never cork that bottle again. You can never go back to the state that you were before. It's like stretching a rubber band. Once you stretch it, it does not go back. That wine will go rancid, or it will be absorbed and appreciated. So you have to use metaphors with people. You have to create visions for them, and that's what I do. That's my job. There are other people in the group who come in, lay hands, and that's what you're going to find when you're doing this work. There are going to be other people who are going to come and lay their hands upon you and help you come back. Okay? So we all have purpose. We all have our jobs. Okay? Your job is to show others that it's possible, that you can go there. Because if you didn't go there, the people can't,
So I'm going to help her just for a moment.
Sure.
Because you keep saying go there. And a lot of people are going, go where? Where did she go? I mean...
Wherever spirit wanted to take her, man.
I understand that. But for those of you listening to this, if you could picture, people just in a circle of chairs and a big powwow drum here, and people sometimes lay down with their heads towards a drum because it's very ceremonial, it's very therapeutic. Nothing magic about it, nothing woo-woo-y about it. We've done it since probably the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
Sound heals, very cathartic, very rhythmic. So she just happened to choose a place that was at my feet because I didn't lay in the circle, because I was called to hold a certain vibrational level, and that was my calling that night. So I was doing my work, and it was all over, and I looked down, and along with Iggy, we kind of have a beautiful relationship going here where we kind of sense each other and be able to talk to each other now, and without words, which is good. And so there were people that were needing help, kind of, it's like, have you ever been to church camp? Or ever been to a camp?
Yes.
And you were having so much fun, and you were so excited that you never wanted to come. You didn't want to go home. I mean, it can be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's that euphoric feeling. So people felt that, they feel euphoric when they're down there because they've released and they're letting go and they're comfortable and they're relaxed and their vulnerability is like stripped away, and they feel like they're wrapped in a cocoon and they're safe. They're in a safe place. I actually said that to you. It's safe. You can come back. So having said all of that, you're sitting there, and I literally say to you, come on, you're going to sit up. And you just looked at me, and you were just gone. You did not want to come back to earth. And when I say that not, I don't have a unicorn thing sticking out of my head. I'm just saying that you were so deep in your meditative state, and it was so peaceful to you, and it was such a taste of everything you wanted to be. It was euphoric. It was truly euphoric. If you believe in a heaven, that was your heaven. Whatever that is for you. You were there. You were so there. And I said, you have to come back to earth. You have work to do here. You can't stay there. And you argued with me. You never said a word, but believe me, you argued with me. And because I'm older and I have more insurance, I said, oh, no, you're coming back. So I started giving you math questions. Do you remember that? Yeah. So we started doing math because you have to take somebody out of their internal emotional place that they hold that and put them into their mental being. Go mental. You have to be mental. And then I told you after you were finally there, but you didn't really come back, but at least you were back enough that you could drive home, which was my fear. Because it's like, it's like being drunk. It's like being high. Yeah. And you can't, responsibly, I can't let somebody walk out the door knowing that they're in that state. And it's not a state. I mean, we're not drinking. You're not doing ayahuasca. We're not smoking dope or anything like that. Well, we're not, It's nothing except your own beautiful spirit that we, it's a beautiful thing. So anyhow, that's all I said. I said, okay, you need to make an appointment, get grounded.
Now, if she wasn't there, the whole process would have been different.
Absolutely. And somebody else would have helped you. I was just called to help you that night.
It's because
that's
all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You hypnotize yourself.
Yeah.
You allow the process to occur.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sitting here going like this, ding,
she
watch me. I know. I don't have that kind of power.
When you're open to the process, you've already hypnotized yourself.
Exactly.
So I go.
Yeah.
It's over.
Right. Remember when I say do the work? We've done the work so long and so much that we can go from there to there just like that. And you're just still doing the work. And I don't say that, I say that in a very loving way because I'm so happy that you're doing the work. I'm so excited.
We have a lot to learn from you too.
Absolutely. Don't think we don't.
Because I've learned a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have, about number one, relationships. Reminder, talking to the gnats,
Yeah.
to be, okay, shit. And I was like,
yeah. Well, you do the work so long, then you forget the beauty of the journey to get there, and that's what the reminders are for me.
Fresh.
And it reminds me to do the work again, to go back and revisit those things. Those are wonderful.
There's an old saying:
things.
"There's nothing new under the sun."
Yeah,
we just have to remember.
Just have to remember it
because it's all out there. Because this is already done. This is actually already completed. Long time ago. We're just catching up to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So, what would you like to leave with our listeners to know? Because we're getting close to the.
I don't know. I'm still in that conversation.
Because they want to hear your insights. They want to hear what you have to say.
People are listening to you,
forward.
and you have something to offer them, and they need you to offer that to them. They really do.
And there's no wrong or right. It just is.
You're needed. You're being called to serve somebody right now.
I don't know.
And that's okay.
That's okay. I love your shirt, by the way. Positive Attitude.
Yes,
That's pretty awesome.
This is my favorite shirt.
No wonder. Tell me about that favorite shirt.
I got it on sale for $3.
Ooh, my
at
kind
Old
of shirt.
Navy. Yeah, at Old Navy. I love wearing it because I went from a place of, throughout my journey, I went from a place to being positive all the time and then realizing that's not the answer. The answer is to be positive, but then also embrace the negative as well, but not letting it bring you down, not letting it affect you. So it's power in being vulnerable. It's power in understanding why you feel certain ways, because you're not feeling those certain ways for no reason. Your body is telling you to feel certain ways. You have to listen to it and figure out why. Just being stuck in an emotion is not good. You can't just be stuck in it. You have to be in it, understand why you're in it, and let go of it.
Right.
So,
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Very good. How about you? What would you like to leave with the listeners?
I would just like to leave just great blessings of joy. I hope everybody enjoyed what we did tonight, and tell your friends about us. And if we can help you in some way, let us know. Call in. I would like to really have a lot more call in. People calling in and asking questions and having a Q&A and things like that. So I would just say embrace your grace, have joy in your heart, be kind, find something kind in everybody. Don't talk negatively about people. That was my lesson, my little epiphany alert for today, was to not talk negatively about another human being, even if they do something that is not kind, but to think kindly of them and just love them through it.
One more thing, to add on to that, what makes it easier to be kind to people is to have compassion, because everybody has their own perspective. So if somebody's coming and yelling at you for such and such, you don't know what made them get to that point. All you have to just, what I usually do is like, if somebody's yelling at me, I'm like, okay, like they're really hurting. Like, I'm sorry that you're hurting. Like, you know, this is you. That goes back to how you treat people is how you feel about yourself. And that's when my empathy comes. I'm like, you know, you're really hurting to talk to me like this. You have to be in a certain place in your life to speak to me this way. So just be compassionate. Understand that although something may seem one way to you, it may seem another way to another person.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. What about you?
Well, guys, what can I say? What a beautiful evening to be here with two beautiful spirits.
Glad to be here.
You know, and it's good to be here.
Yep. Good to
You know, we're jamming it. We're finishing up. We're wrapping it up. I want to thank everybody who tuned in on the radio, on the live stream, and you know.
Let me know if you want to see me back. Comment below if you want to make another appearance.
Absolutely. We'll have you back for
I
sure.
say peace out.
But you know what? Just do your best every day you're out there. Just honor yourself, respect yourself, love those around you because they're unknown to us. You know, we don't know how much time we have with them or how much time you'll be here. And just be grateful, have an attitude of gratitude, you know, and just love what's been given to you. Sometimes we forget, you know, the gifts that are already in front of us. We're looking for so many other gifts to complete us or to move us forward. We forget about the ones that we already have.
Yep.
And sometimes there are people around us, our pets, the books we read, the tapes we listen to. I don't know if we don't listen to tapes anymore, but MP3s we listen to.
The tapes we listen to.
You know?
Oh, wow.
And you know, your friends, you know.
8 tracks.
You're probably influenced by the 5 most closest friends you have. Okay? They'll be the ones that really affect how you navigate your life.
And remember, you're a whole. Oh, you have to remember that you are whole, and that's what helps you appreciate the small things in life. If you're always trying to catch up to something, the next thing, if you're always thinking about what you want and not appreciating what you have, you're not going to get it. You're putting in a universe that you're in a state of lack. You're never in lack. You're already whole.
That's right.
Remember that.
Very good. So with that,
Whole.
I thought you called me hoe, but
I actually said that word out loud because I wanted everybody to hear it.
Whole.
As in W-H.
Yes.
Oh,
Whole.
But
You are.
See us old people, where we went. Look where we went.
You told me what at the end of the show?
And thanks for tuning in to The Naked Shaman with Iggy Garcia tonight. Episode 2. Be well.
Peace.
Take
Yes.
care, my friends.
Yes.
And we'll see you Monday. Before that, one final thing. We do have a drum circle at Allen Creek from 1 o'clock to 5:30. So if you can make it out to the drum circle, go swimming. Allen Creek Beach. Allen Creek Beach. All right. If you need more information, IggyGarcia.com.
AkaiNewmanCo.com.
And your Instagram.
Jayla Imani.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Blessings.
Have a good evening. I'm going to walk up to this guy. And I'm gonna turn. Bye, guys. Take care.